And good evening, East Africa. Now you're logged on to the continent's leading intellectual platform, the highest platform for solution finding, The Desk. Now, thank you very much for watching U24. Now, we trust that every time you watch U24, you're inspired, you're motivated, and above all, you are educated. Like tonight, you're going to be educated about fashion. Sit back, relax, better yet, lean forward. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a discussion that we are sure is going to impact the entire overview of the political, the social, and above all, the economic atmosphere of this country and the East African region as a whole. Now more than ever, I am Shadrach Shagaf Kisame. Now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight, yet again, at the beginning of the year, with 2 months down the road, we are still thinking of solutions, how youths can actually get up there in terms of money making and income. Now, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we thought yet about fashionpreneurship. Now, are you out there and you have a local boutique down there, or are you a fashion designer? Are you thinking about maybe drawing dresses and putting pieces together? Ladies and gentlemen, the man in the chair tonight, I tell you, this is a man that has hit international runways. I mean, with his designs, he's a man that has a fashion showroom at the Kampala Boulevard. When you enter there, I tell you, you'll get whatever you want, every type of fashion sense. He goes by the names of Joe Malaika. Yes, you guessed right, because you have heard that name on different tabloids. You've seen him probably on different television stations. Now, I tell you, I for one watched him last week on, I think it was an interview he did in the US. And I tell you, this man, are you even a Muganda?
Yes, I'm Muganda.
Welcome to the show, Joe.
Appreciate it. Thank you guys for having me on the desk. I'm honored to be here.
Good to see you, man.
Quite an introduction. Amazing.
Thank you. This is what we do at the desk. I tell you, every time it's Wednesday, it's all about the desk. And when it's all about the desk, it's about solutions. Now, we thought a lot of youths down there are looking up to you guys.
Yeah.
They're thinking, how do you even do it? So before we even start off, how did this come to you? How did you start? Did you start like anyone else? Go downtown, pick clothes? How did you even start?
I have a fashion background.
Okay.
I just, how it got started. Mm-hmm. It's a long story, but I just make it real quick. So it started with a girl. A girl I liked in my class. Mm-hmm. As a young man, it happens.
A girl you liked in class.
Correct. As a young girl I liked in my class. She dressed really well, so I wanted to impress the kid. So I thought about what can I do, as a man, as a young guy. I thought about making a dress. So I made this young lady a dress, and she posted online. Facebook was new at the time.
Okay.
And Boston University, they were looking for designers. They saw the dress, and they asked me to make 10 more pieces for their runway show. And I did that. And that's
slow down, Joe. In your class in Uganda?
No.
So let's start there now. You were in school?
I was in college,
okay.
First year of college. I went to Bentley University, so shout out to Bentley. So, just going through classes, whatever. But every time you come to class, there's that one girl, she dressed really nice. I was into style, I'm into fashion. Like I said, I had a fashion background. I learned stitching from my grandmother. And so just seeing this girl, I wanted to impress the kid. I made a dress for her. She posted online. So Facebook at the time was only available to college students. As you guys know, Facebook started in Massachusetts.
Yes.
And, Boston University, that was one of the biggest schools in Massachusetts. They saw the dress, and they asked her who made the dress for you, and she got me in touch. And BU asked me to make 10 more pieces for their runway show. So just doing that, it opened so many doors. I got involved in fashion weeks in Boston, started doing shows outside the United States. First show I did outside USA, I opened for Paris Fashion. So till today, I just been doing it, but that's how my story got started.
The rest is history.
Correct.
From trying to impress a girl in class, making her a dress, probably, did she finally like you?
Unfortunately not, but it is what it is. It happens.
Unfortunately, the girl did not like him.
She wasn't feeling, but we're still friends because that's always been my story. I would not be where I'm at today if it wasn't for her.
If it wasn't for her.
Yeah.
Now, this built the Joe Malaika. Let's look at Uganda currently.
Yes, sir.
What is your assessment? What is your assessment? Do you think we're okay? You're going to tell me obviously we are getting somewhere, but what is your assessment? If you're
No, you're not getting somewhere. Uganda, there's style here, there's fashion here. Every time I've been to a couple of events and people really come out correct. You see what I'm saying? So I As a matter of fact, I get inspired by some of the styles I see here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I go downtown. There's a spot called the Jemba Plaza. I go out there looking for fabric, but fashion here is, you know, is pretty nice style out here. So I'm really impressed.
So what is your assessment generally? Do you think someone out there who is watching you and they love fashion like you, do you think they can start out and actually make real money?
Totally. You know, the hardest thing is consistency. You know, it's easy to get started, but staying consistent is one of the hardest things, and it's very, very important. And also, you need a team around you, you know, just to keep you going. You need to have those positive people, the people that can push you, because it's hard to do this business by yourself. It's really tough.
So you think what can solve the consistency problem is having a team that always keeps you running?
No. The consistency comes from you. You know, you have to stay consistent. You cannot get up, you know, yesterday, because all days are not. Every day is not a Sunday. So today
Yes.
might be tough. Tomorrow might be tough. The next day might be tough. You just need to stay consistent. You know, you open a shop. Nobody comes in today. Nobody comes in the next day. You still gotta open. You know, consistency matters. And it's hard for people, not just in fashion, but in any other
Everywhere.
business.
Yes, absolutely.
Consistency is tough. That's why it kills a lot of businesses.
Joe, how are Ugandans celebrating or appreciating your sense of fashion? Have they received you well?
Of course.
Okay.
You know, I go out there. Last time we was at a surprise birthday party for my friend, for my girl Tiba. She's from Colorado. She invited me to a birthday party for her husband, and you know, I had like you know, a blazer, no shirt,
Yeah.
like a belt, and got some pretty decent compliments. Because for me, it's about being confident. You know, and it was too hot. I felt like I didn't need a shirt. You know, I didn't want to, you know, because it was too hot for me. You know, I just went out, and surprisingly, people were into it.
They were into it.
They were into it, totally. And shout out to Shiba for inviting me. I had a great time, and happy belated birthday to Julius.
Yeah. All right. So, what do you think? Because the problem with consistency comes in usually at a financial angle. For
Correct.
instance, you can't open a shop in a week and people are not buying and you still pay rent. How have you managed to do that for someone watching out there?
How I've managed to do that, sales. You know, I've also saved up some money, and for somebody who is out there, I mean, also is about you know, it's the relationship you have with the owners, like you know, the landlord. You know, let them know, maybe give me a break or whatever, and try it out.
Give me a break. You're on Boulevard. Those guys don't listen, and they actually do it in US dollars, but you're used to US dollars. Actually, the major problem we're having, Joe, is rent. I started a business. I was selling shoes, but it was downtown, and because of rent, I failed. I lost the business. Don't you think it's a really, really big problem for the youths down there, and it's too much rent?
I mean, you don't necessarily, like, we also have to be realistic. You don't necessarily have to start out like on Kampala Boulevard.
Okay.
Or like whatever. You can start out like because there's a lot of people on the streets pushing products. You can start out on, you know, you also want to make sure that you can be, like, regardless, you don't make the rent, you'll still be able to, you don't make the sales, you still be able to make rent. So like, let's say you start out like a place lower than Kampala Boulevard. You see what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of guys on the street pushing products. So maybe you want to start on the street, you know, stay out there, because I see guys on the street, the same people, you know. So maybe start on the street and try to push your product, and you make a couple sales, get into Kampala Boulevard.
Later.
Yeah,
All right.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
All right. I'm going for a short break, but when we come back, I want us to talk about how kids can inspire their creativity.
Correct.
Yes. Now, after the break, we are still with Joe Malaika. I tell you, if the guy wasn't as dark as he is, I would think I'm talking to like a white man from probably New York or London or something. But I tell you, we're still with Joe Malaika. He's Ugandan. He's been on the bus. He's been on the plane. I'm not sure whether he's been on a border, but he's going to tell us after the break.
Joe Malaika on the desk. Sit tight. Joe Malaika, we're coming back. All right? Sit tight. We're coming.
Well, if you've just joined us, I'm afraid you've missed the very insightful first segment of this very educative episode of The Desk. And I tell you, it's quite social because we're talking about fashion, we're talking about inspiration. Now, if you're out there and you're still wondering whether is it fashion or is it accounting, I think you need to sit back, relax, because the man in the chair is going to make you like fashion, he's going to get you inspired. Now, if you're still out there and you're still wondering, and maybe your fashion career has kicked the bucket, this is the show. Tonight is the show. Sit back, relax, better yet lean forward or even stand up. Keep your eyes on your screen. Now we're still at the Nube Home. Now the Nube Home is on Kampala Road. You can walk in. The Nube Home is opposite KCBO Shell. Do you want the best authentic leather? Do you want a couch like this? Now remember, the best thing is there's a Easter promotion and it is up to 40% discount for anything, kitchenware, gardenware, or even the lighting. They have beautiful chandeliers. Now you can follow this very lovely discussion on our social media platforms. That is Facebook, Shadrach Kisame U24, or even at the Nube Home. You can also do the same for Instagram and Twitter for U24 Television, and you can also do the same for Joe Malaika. What is your social media handle?
My social media is just Joe Malaika everything. At Joe Malaika Snapchat, Instagram at Joe Malaika, Facebook at Joe Malaika, Twitter at Joe Malaika, YouTube at Joe Malaika. So pretty much Joe Malaika everywhere.
Everywhere. Yeah. So they can, we have issues with people who are watching. Please do not call me. The number on your screen is strictly for WhatsApp or text message. Do not call me because I will not pick up. If you want Joe Malaika, don't call me for his number. You should go for Joe Malaika, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I have a lot. When guests come here, everyone's like, so now how can Joe Malaika help me? I have my boutique. Ask all those questions on his social media. Now, we're talking about something very important.
Right.
How can a youth down there inspire their creativity? Because I was talking to someone, a great friend of mine, and she was telling me the problem with the youth is that they lack creativity. They're doing the same thing. You see, you've been saying people push products on the street.
Right.
Don't you feel like it's the same product? Like people lost a sense of creativity.
Also is sometimes how you connect with the consumer, because especially in the United States, you don't really have that emotional connection with the customer because most of the staff is people shop online. But here, you have that emotional. You can connect with the customer, right? Like somebody is pushing product, they're telling you. In that too, you're sitting in traffic, somebody's telling you, this product is gonna do this for you. You're connecting. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But
in the US, it's not there.
You just go online, you already know. So there's no that emotional connection. So to answer your question, you need, it's very important. You be in your face. Let them know this is gonna do for you. This is what you need for. Like let's say this is what you need for your face. Sometimes they'll explain to you. Somebody is pushing grasshopper. They say, listen, I haven't met any cell. Let's just say I haven't met any cells since morning. Can you just please help me and take this?
Yes.
You might feel sorry, like, what, this guy is really working really hard.
So it's an emotional thing. It's not like you
Totally.
really wanted to buy.
Yeah, sometimes, it happens because there's people who feel like that. So let me just help him make a sell. I don't know if that makes any sense.
So at the end of the day, it's the emotional approach with the client.
Correct.
And that's how you can
how you
create
present
for them.
yourself. Correct. And how the other person feels about you. Yeah.
So someone probably sketching, or like you said, you have a background, you're stitching with your grandmother.
Correct.
Like how would they create something that is not everywhere? How can someone think? Because I want you to help them think outside the box. Because, like, for instance, when you did that dress for your girl back in the US,
correct,
you had an inspiration, love.
Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for them, what do they do? Should they use love like you did?
Not really. Just from my experience, you don't have to be in one spot. You can. I get inspired by just being out. You see what I'm saying? So every time I see something new. Just being seeing different stuff, you get inspired. So they don't necessarily have to be in the same spot. You can just go out and you get inspired by because you see new stuff every time. Like traveling. The world is so big. You see, to me, you accumulate experience when you go out.
But let's say, for instance, they do not have money to travel. They are not like Joe Malaika, who studied in the US.
Still, you can go outside of different spots that you haven't been around Kampala. You'll get inspired by that.
That's pretty much where you get your inspiration.
a lot of times because I see new stuff all the time. Like I see some, I can see a dress I haven't seen before. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you think also limited access to the internet is blocking a lot of our fashion designers here?
Totally, because there's so much stuff. Everybody posts. They want to post what they're wearing. So you see, these also others, other people that I follow. I get inspired. So I see what they're wearing, and I just try to incorporate my own style into it. So also that plays into place. Not having internet.
And you see, it's a very big problem right now. Someone could be, very extremely creative, and they're like, I can sit on that sewing machine, I can come up with something, or I can sketch something and come up with it. But because they are not exposed, they lack internet. And talk to government. What should government do?
See, I'm not into politics, but listen, if there's anything the government can do, probably just separate some funds for people people who need help. Again, I'm not the best person to talk about politics, but again, this is the reason why I put people in government to help people who need help. So everybody in government, if you're in position to help, please help.
Absolutely. You do not want to get into politics.
Totally not, because it's not my forte.
It's not your?
It's not my thing.
Yeah. So most people limit fashion to just sketching and everything. Let's say right now you're putting on very nice glasses. Yeah. So is that part of the entire bouquet? Is that part of the entire package?
So I like to wear glasses a lot of times. There's people who say they've never seen my eyes. I don't know why people are interested in saying my eyes. It's just part of my style. Everybody has their own style. Your style may be like long sleeve shirt, buttoned up shirt. My glasses is my style. Again, everybody, you can just create your own style. So some people identify me with glasses. There's times, people, there's somebody who said that is Joe Malaika. I'm like, no. That's not Joe. Joe wears glasses. This guy is not wearing glasses. Because they identify me with glasses.
Joe, how did you make your name?
Joe Malaika is my name.
No, how did you, because all over the tabloids, people, right, when it comes to fashion, at least your name is somewhere. Joe Malaika. How a kid down there, let's say in Chikuba Mutwe, let's say in Chibuli, not upscale places like Ntinda, someone down in Chikuba Mutwe there on a sewing machine, but they look up to you. What should they do to make their name up there?
Honestly, it's just being aggressive. Fashion is a very aggressive business. We are competing with guys with massive financial resources. We're competing with guys like Gucci, Dolce & Gabbana. So it's just putting yourself out there, going to all these events, and trying to make sure all people who have influence, you get to give them products. It's a lot of sacrifice. You get to do a lot of free work. It's a lot of work.
A lot of free work. For someone, you first give them maybe a dress freely.
My very first dress that I made, for a girl, even if it was my own interest, it's free.
It was free.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? So it requires a lot of free stuff. It's a very, very aggressive business. Not just being aggressive, you also have to be consistent, like I mentioned there earlier. So, excuse me. So, just honestly putting myself out there every night. Not stopping, and also surrounding myself with people who have the same passion as I do. Very, very important, because you learn from them. Somehow you compete, but you're learning. You understand what I'm saying? So it's very, very important. So put yourself out there, be aggressive. Don't be scared to ask questions. Ask questions. You're gonna learn from your mistakes.
So Joe, are you saying if a girl from Chikuba Mutwe or a guy from Chikuba Mutwe made their dress and they think they can do it, if they came to Boulevard and talked to you, wouldn't you just pass by them? Would you listen to them? Would you talk to them?
Absolutely. I talk to everybody. Guys come out and it says, like yesterday, there's a young lady. She came, and she said her son was in a hospital. I don't know this lady. She don't know me. She says her son is in the hospital, whatever. She needs some money, anything that can help. Obviously I had some money on me, and I gave it to her. And the folks who was next to me, they say she was lying. Whether she was lying or not, I did my part.
Yes.
I had some money, so it's up to her. It'll catch up to her. But it is what it is.
Okay, before we go for a short break, there's a point that you said, I want that the youth should understand. You said it's not all about money. Sometimes you had to sacrifice and do things for free just to push your name out there.
I'm telling you, I'm putting in 22 hours a day. You put in a lot of work, go out there, put yourself out there.
Even if you're not being paid.
Even if you're not getting paid. A lot of times, you're not going to get paid.
A lot of times, you're not going to get paid.
a lot of times you're not gonna get paid. You know, you're gonna do a lot of free stuff. You know, you're not gonna get paid. If you're thinking about you getting paid when you're getting started, not going to happen. You need a wrong business.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's go for a short break. But when we come back, I think now we're going to be talking about more of how Ugandans can penetrate to the international market after the break. All right. Now we are still at the Nube home. We are live. Do not go away. The desk returns in a bit. And welcome back to this very lovely episode of this very educative episode of The Desk. I tell you, we have been learning a lot about fashionpreneurship. Now, if you're out there and you have someone who is thinking about fashion, who had lost hope, now I think you need to call them to switch on to their television and get glued onto their screen, because the man in the chair, he's not a man who just watched TV, picked up things, pocketed them, and now he's giving them to us. No, he's a man who has been on the plane, he's a man who has been on the bus and on the street. He's told us he's done a lot of things for free just to get his name out there, just to get his trademark out there. And I tell you, we're still learning a lot of things. Now, if you've just joined us, I'm afraid you've missed the first two very insightful episodes, segments of The Desk. Now, if you want to follow this discussion, you can go to Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. That is for Shadrach Kisame or U24 or at Danube or Joe Malaika, and let us know what you think. Now, we're still at Danube home. It's on Kampala Road. Do not even think about going away, because Joe Malaika is still here. Joe, have you actually thought?
Now think about changing that dial. Sorry,
They should not think about. Joe, have you thought about doing shows, maybe in Uganda, and trying to display or put out there your fashion?
Yeah, speaking of shows, I have a show in a couple months. The Fashion Rush Hour happening in downtown Boston at the W. So my folks in Boston, Joe Malaika is coming back. Excuse me, but I'm afraid with the coronavirus, the show might be shut down because safety is very, very important. But to answer your question, I have a show planned here in October. The Excessive Fashion for the very first time is coming to downtown Kampala at the Serena Hotel.
Oh, wow.
October 8th. And I'm told the following day is the Independence. So certainly looking forward to that. A lot of my teams are pretty excited to visit Africa. And so we're coming, Joe Malaika Excessive Fashion, October 8th at the Serena Hotel.
Are people paying?
What was that?
Are people paying?
Of course.
How much are they paying? Tell them to save up.
So probably ordinary $40, and VIP TBA.
Malaika, ezo sente meka mu Uganda, ezo Uganda, kwa byoli gamba $40. We may think it's little money.
So I gotta be honest with you, I'm having a hard time with the shillings. So I'm familiar with the dollars.
Okay.
So of course, we'll figure out, the equivalent of $40.
Because dollar chikumi, that is 300 and let's say 70,000. So $50 is like 100 what?
Now we're doing numbers.
Yeah, let's do numbers because people should know. Victor, Munyambeko, George, how much is like $50? These guys, someone get a calculator, because people need to save up for it. Like on a serious note, people need to save up for it, and they should know exactly what is going. So you're having tables as well?
Of course, we have tables. I still have to figure out probably tables like $1,000.
So that's 180,000. 100,000. 118,000. 180,000.
I think it's a pretty decent, it's a pretty decent fee to charge folks to get into excessive.
Yes. So you're gonna give them the red carpet feel and everything.
The red carpet. We have goodie bags, and obviously the Joe Malaika product is gonna be out there. And some of my team, they're excited to be here in Kampala.
Socialize with I think it's more important for the fashion designers out there to come and socialize with your team that is coming in.
Of course, I would love to meet him. The other night I ran into Fatuma. I only saw her online, and I had to, she does beautiful work. Shout out to Fatuma Asher. Looking forward to meeting all the, the nation's designers, and my friend, the nation's, the queen, Olivia Nakakande. Yeah. Shout out to Leave, Miss Uganda.
Oh,
Love her.
all right. So for someone out there trying to do their fashion and everything, how do we export to break through into the international market? Because you're having shows in Boston and everywhere. How does a Ugandan out there, how do they do it for them to be able to export their materials? For instance, now on your shows and everything, how can they do it simply?
Say it one more time.
How can a Ugandan designer out there,
Right.
a local one, maybe somewhere in Zambia or somewhere, be able to export their materials or their fashion sense to the outside world?
Social media. You look up like upcoming events and sign up. And a lot of times, they're looking for new designers.
They're actually looking for new designers.
a lot of times like fashion weeks, you get involved into those things, and like I said, it's very important. That's how I also try to put myself out there, getting into like Arab Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, Boston Fashion Week. Like sometimes even if you're not showcasing, you just go out there just to mingle and try to connect with people. Because you might not be in position to to get involved the year or the following year.
But the following year they put you in their database.
Correct. Because
that-
the time you contact them, they might be full and they don't need no more. But next year they might need you, and that's what happens.
So what happens if they call you and you need to pay your tickets? What exactly do you need? Because it could be the challenge as to why we do not have a lot of our local fashion designers export their designs out there.
Sometimes this is where your friends come in. Let them know maybe I need a loan. This means a lot to me, so I would love for you to borrow me some money. And you gotta do. If you really need something, you'll figure out a way to make it happen. Is bottom line.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So social capital is very important.
It's also very important to have money, because a lot of times without money, nothing is moving.
There's nothing that you can do.
Yeah.
So, business-wise, you've set up a shop. You said it's your business.
Correct.
How is that even going? The retailing. How is that going?
It's going well. Sales. The sales are going fantastic, and I'm really happy with the results right now. Yeah.
So
It's
you
going
think?
great.
So you think a kid down there who has their little money can open up a boutique and they can make sales?
Like again, you can, like I said, you can start from the street. You don't have to start from the street. You can just make like a little kiosk. You see what I'm saying? And start from that, and then progress from that. The sales, use it to get bigger, to expand. Yeah.
So one last word for a girl or a boy out there who is watching you and they want to be Joe Malaika in say 5 years.
You don't have to be Joe Malaika. You can be you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm very easy to find at Joe Malaika on my website, joemalaika.com. If you need anything, just reach out to me at Joe Malaika, and I can even give you a number, my number.
Yeah, give them your number. Go ahead.
My number is 999. Hit me.
I was waiting for that. I was actually waiting to see if he could give you his number. Well, thank you very much for coming to the desk.
Of course, the desk, I'm into it. So you guys, next time you need me, I'm ready to pull up.
All right. Thank you very much, Joe. And now for you who may not catch this show live, go to YouTube. Either look for Kisame Shadrach or U24 Television. Now, for you who are in the diaspora and you want to watch what Joe Malaika, the insightful tips that he was giving, and you've not been able to catch the show live, just go to YouTube, Facebook, Shadrach Kisame, Twitter, Shadrach Kisame, or U24. Now, you've been
Come visit the shop at Kampala Boulevard. That's where we at. F39 at Joe Malaika, Kampala Boulevard.
Kampala. Actually, for me, I should go and see the shop.
We have the best suit, the men's best suits.
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 Joe, I'm a pastor, and I always do suits.
You didn't tell me. Now we're going to do Bible study, guys. We're going to see you guys about to do Bible study.
All right. Thank you very much for watching The Desk. This is the continent's leading intellectual platform. I tell you, the only way of communication is intellectuality. You better have gone to school to come to The Desk. But I tell you, we are welcome to everyone. Now, the number on your screen, send us a message. If you want to come to The Desk, probably, and maybe you want to advertise, you want to do anything, just text us on that number, and we'll surely get back to you. Now, from me and the entire U24 management, would love to say good night, good luck, adios, for God and my country. God bless beautiful Uganda.